Welcome to the Write Right Academy. I'm Matthew R. Miller. It's said that the 7 elements of a good novel are character, plot, setting, theme, point of view, conflict, and tone. Now, plot, that's the one a lot of people have trouble with. Because if you're writing a book or even a short story, planning out and keeping track of the plot is not easy. Think about it. You have different characters, sometimes many different characters. Each character is living their own life, having their own character arc, transformation. You have main characters, you have minor characters, you have a plot that needs to follow the hero's journey, you have an inciting incident, you have conflict, resolution. So how do you keep track of all that? Sometimes it's hard. You know, the very first book I ever wrote, when I sent it to an editor, I realized that a character who had died had suddenly reappeared. I'd brought them back to life. I hadn't realized it. So a character who had died is just like there in another chapter, just acting normal. So didn't this character die already? By the way, that's why you need a good editor. But that's because I hadn't really planned out the plot and I hadn't thought about it enough. It's easy to lose track of stuff like that. So if you have a plot and you are going toward a goal, right? The entire plot, in a general sense, should be working towards a goal. You should have the hero's journey. You should have the hero, going, failing, succeeding, becoming better, fighting the villain, and winning, returning home, and the denouement, the ending. Okay? It's hard to keep track of all this stuff. So here's a little trick that makes it a lot easier. Now, this is not an excuse to not plan your plot and, plot out your novel. You should do that. But here's something: if you're having trouble keeping track of how to get to a goal, it's to start at the goal and work backwards. For example, if your character has to make it to a certain place, let's say a certain house up on a mountain, just off the top of my head, and a lot of things need to happen to the character before they get there, the character's going to be doing this, zigzagging, and you're going to end up in a place where, like, okay, here I am way over here. How is this character going to get here to this house on the mountain? And when all these things haven't happened yet, start off with the goal of the house on the mountain. Then when you're writing, as you write the plot in the novel, everything you do is going to have that in the back of your mind, and you're going to be aiming toward that goal. So that no matter where the character goes, and no matter what the character does, as long as you have that idea, that goal in the back of your mind, then you're going to make it so that that scene, that setting is aiming toward that goal. You see, I tend to start writing my books without a huge outline and plot, but that doesn't mean I don't have an outline. I just don't write it all down. I have it in my head. And that's one of the things I do. Know what you want to happen at the end of your novel, the end of your story, before you start the story, right? Do it backwards. And that way, everything you do will lead towards that goal. Trust me, it'll make a big difference. It'll help avoid a lot of confusion and a lot of, like me, bringing dead characters back to life accidentally. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. I'm Matthew R. Miller. You're watching the Write Right Academy.